All right, so I'm Bridget Danner from Hormone Detox Shop, and I'm pretty excited about this class because it's the beginning of a series we're going to do every month, and we'll always include essential oils, but I think that we'll often include other topics as well. Like today we're going to talk about colds and flus, and I probably could have talked about just essential oils, but they aren't the only tool really that you need, so to speak, to work with colds and flus. So we're going to look at different areas of your life and health for colds and flus, and we'll get into a few kind of specialty topics. So it should be a lot of fun. Let me just pull up my notes here. Get ready for us, and I'll share my screen in a bit. Yeah, so this is the second Tuesday of the month, and we're actually going to move it to the third Tuesday of the month in the new year, so we have a little more planning time. And next month, I think we'll either talk about detoxification or oils for thyroid, both of which I've talked about before, but a little more specialized. So if you have a vote for any of that, let me know in the chat if there is one you prefer. We are offering a group detox kit in January, so it may be a good time to talk about detox just for that reason. Someone said thyroid. Oh, hold on one second. My screen is like kind of fuzzy and small, so I want to fix that. Uh-oh. Sorry, 1 minute. We're having a little technical issue here. Still happening. Okay, sorry about that. Hey, sorry, we got some new people on while I was screwing some stuff up. Hi, Kathy, Christina, Carla. Okay, my screen is not sharing properly, but I will fix that in a second here. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at some of these different areas. Sorry, I have to kind of look down because my monitor isn't working right. We're going to look at essential oils. We're going to look at foods to eat and avoid. We're going to talk about supplements for flu and Epstein Barr, and a little bit about kids and working with kids. And then we'll talk some about some of this doTERRA specials going on this month. Excuse me. So as every month as we do these, every month is a new special too for essential oils, and it's kind of hard to keep up with. So I thought this would be a fun way to make sure you know the special of the month every month. So we'll talk about that at the end and like some holiday gift ideas. Definitely some of these oils for colds and flus are good for holiday gift ideas. My mom just had a birthday and I gave her the Breathe and the On Guard because she does get sick a lot in the winter, and sometimes she gets pneumonia, and she's in her 70s, so it's it's really unhealthy and scary for older people especially to be sick, and for kids, kids can get really sick as well, and high fevers. I mean, nobody likes to be sick, but there's certain populations you need to be especially careful with. So they make a great gift, and like the On Guard, which you'll see here, it comes in a lot of forms. It comes in a hand spray, comes in a lozenge, comes in a little beadlet. So if you think, well, I have a friend who probably wouldn't use the whole oil, you can get them like a little kind of starter version as well, which I'm doing for some people. Okay, well, let's start out with food because everybody needs to eat and it's pretty foundational. Now, my audience, you usually know a lot about food and you're pretty smart, but you might hear something in a new way today that helps you, tighten up your habits over the holidays. I actually just came back late last night from like an early Christmas with some of my relatives, I didn't have any alcohol, but I did have some sugar. I had some gluten. I don't normally eat these things, but I just sort of, sometimes you just give in. And I fell off for sure. And I'm glad like I got that out of my system in one weekend. So I would say starting with foods to avoid are sugar and alcohol. Every time you have a sugar, and alcohol contains sugars, it shuts down some of the functioning of your immune system for several hours. The activity of your white blood cells is like hampered, slowed down. And you may even notice that. If you're sensitive to sugar like me, you may even notice like your glands swelling or you're getting a little phlegmy when you have sugar. So something I should have done this weekend that I didn't think about, we did travel by plane, is like bring your own healthy treats places. And they could even be like not the super healthiest, but like if you know you're going to be around a lot of sugar and you know you want to eat something, bring your own cookies that are a healthier version, that are like gluten-free and low in sugar or no sugar. So sugar, I think that the fact that there's so much sugar around in the holidays is one of the reasons that we get so sick during the holidays. We'll talk about other reasons. But I would say just as much as you can, and I just admitted I wasn't perfect this last weekend, as much as you can, keep it down, because it's going to really make you susceptible to colds and flus that are being carried around this time of year. Other two categories, you might want to avoid are dairy and gluten, which can cause inflammation and phlegminess as well. And then avoid your other food sensitivities too. So some other ones are corn and soy. And those are two common ones. Like soy will kind of make my eyes swell up. Corn will make me a little bloated. And you may have your own special ones. You might be allergic to almonds or whatever it is. And just I would say, this time of year, make sure you're avoiding things that irritate your system and cause inflammation in your system. Most of your immune system is in your gut, and we're going to talk more about the gut and how we want to really nourish that. Some other food things to consider are eating vegetables, eating at least 5 servings a day of veggies. An easy way to hit that is to have a salad at lunch or dinner, put a little greens in your smoothie, and then have some cooked vegetables during the day too. So when we eat vegetables, they have antioxidants and phytonutrients, and they also have fibers that help feed our digestive system and make sure that, again, that digestive system is really working well, because it's a big part of our immune system. If you don't eat any fermented foods like kimchi or sauerkraut, you may want to add some of those to your daily routine. My favorite right now, you probably heard me mention, is Cocoa yogurt, which is a small glass jar they have at Whole Foods and some other stores. I think it's by the company is GT's. And that is dynamite. It really, I can tell, my poops are really healthy when I have my Cocoa yogurt. And so, if you don't, some people aren't used to fermented food, aren't used to the taste. You don't need a lot. You just need a little bit. They also have these lovely fermented carrots at some Whole Foods. You can make your own as well. I'm just kind of telling you the shopping version. So those are good to incorporate in this winter season. And then foods with vitamin C, lots of peppers. You see it's more of those citrus, like the little tiny clementines in the winter. Fresh broccoli, so get your vitamin C foods, and then make sure you're getting protein. Protein actually helps build antibodies, which help fight off infections. So women can be a little worse with this sometimes. Make sure you're getting protein with every meal. It doesn't have to be a huge steak, but it could just be a spoonful of almond butter or nuts and lentils in your salad. Or a nice piece of fish or a clean meat, but just make sure you're getting protein throughout the day. It could be easy this time of year to be snacking out on cookies and crackers and forgetting to eat protein. So just make sure when you're out and about that you're hitting your protein. And then fats. So fats help absorb some of the fat-soluble nutrients that you need for immunity, like vitamin E, A, and D. Again, you might get a nice piece of salmon, nuts. I really love hemp oil, evening primrose oil. I like avocado, ghee. So there's lots of options for healthy fats, and just make sure you're getting fats throughout your day can really help your appetite as well this time of year and make you feel full so you're not snacking out on that stuff. Let me just see if there's any questions because my screen is messed up so I can't see you guys. Oh, no, I don't see anything yet. Feel free to write in the chat if you have any questions. We'll kind of get into some more juicy stuff in a minute here. Hi, Rebecca, Russell, Sherry, Troy, BJ. Thanks for joining us. Okay. And let's move on to lifestyle for a little bit. I'm just going to mostly focus here on sleep. So getting enough sleep in this time of year is important. Most of us need 8 hours, and kind of the key time to get to bed by is 10 p.m. because there's a lot of restoration that happens from 10 p.m. till midnight. That will really make you feel a lot more rested in the day. So unless your work really restricts that, I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to have good sleep hygiene. Wearing a sleep mask at night is something I started a few years ago, and I'm totally dedicated to it now. Turning off screens an hour or two before bed. So basically not turning on your Netflix or checking your email before bed or on Facebook. Make sure there's a time that you say, oh, I'm getting off screen, because that blue light decreases melatonin production, which is an important antioxidant for your health and for a good night's sleep. So dim the lights in your house, turn off the tablets, get your phone in airplane mode, charge it away from your room, preferably. This little video station is in my bedroom. So I have a power strip and I just turn it to off. So just minimize electricity and charging and Wi-Fi in your room and your house at night. So you can put a Christmas timer on your Wi-Fi router so it turns off at night. That's what we do. It's a pretty easy way to reduce your Wi-Fi at least. And then the other couple things I want to mention in lifestyle are time-restricted eating. So we had a great guest talk about this on our Facebook group a couple of months ago. And basically, all your organs work at different times. They're not all firing constantly. So for instance, like your digestion is happening more in the daytime when you're eating. And that's why you don't want to eat late at night, because your body isn't really turned on to digest late at night. So I'm not actually 100% sure when the immune system turns on. I actually think it is over the night. I should have looked that up before I came on. But really following those natural sleep-wake cycles, getting to bed on time, eating within a 12-hour window or less. So if you have your first meal at 7 a.m., make sure your last meal is before 7 p.m. And if you're looking to lose weight or kind of increase the efficiency of your body, you can even shrink that. So maybe you're having your first meal at 9 and your last meal at 6. And that can be a great way to lose weight. And just give your organs like a rest and let them be working when they should and resting when they should. And then last one I mentioned is air quality, because we will be talking about diffusing essential oils. But as you know, air quality in the winter with the heat on can be really nasty. So I encourage you to change your home air filters in your, your return. I'm like horrible with these terms, but change your air filters for your HVAC system. We have to change it every month in the desert, but I think other places it's like every 3 months. So change those filters, open the windows more often than you think, even if it's cold out, at least go around and open the windows for 10 minutes in the daytime and just let some fresh air in. Our indoor air quality is now sometimes up to 100 times worse than outdoor air quality, which is pretty crazy. So you're getting, not only viruses and bacteria in the air, but you're having like chemicals and dust. So just air out the house, use houseplants. And we're going to have in January a webinar on air filters, because I think it's something that people are curious about and you may want to invest in as well, just to keep the air clean in your home for germs. Any questions about any of that so far, guys? Thanks for being here again. I appreciate it. Let's see. Is it common to have more flatulence with fermented foods? I don't think it should be. I don't think it needs to be common. No. So let me think why that could be happening. You know, you could be getting some die-off, or you could potentially have some SIBO that feeds on that. I'll have to think about that. You know, I think your name is Christina. Like anytime we change our routine, we can have potentially gas. When we add like more vegetables or lentils to our diet, we can have gas. So I would just suggest to go really, really slow. Like have one little piece of kimchi or even one bite of super fermented yogurt, and just go slow, because you're probably having some die-off or some kind of reaction that your body isn't used to what you're eating, is what I figure. Good question. I think there's another one. There was another question, but I lost it. You just find it with sauerkraut. You could also have like a food sensitivity potentially to sauerkraut. But yeah, I would just go really, really little. Alice said she heard that mushrooms can be good for immunity and endurance. She's been healing from mold illness, and she's a little scared about mushrooms. Yeah, medicinal mushrooms are really potent, and I'm not sure about the mold issue. I mean, you probably know I have mold too. I wouldn't say I've done a lot of medicinal mushrooms since then, and I think it did give me pause as well, but I'll have to look that one up. I don't think like if you use a mushroom tincture or anything, like I've never heard of that irritating like chronic inflammatory relief syndrome. But there's a lot of options in the immune world. We're going to talk about just a handful today, but there's so many. So if you don't feel 100% comfortable about mushrooms, there's a lot of other options for sure. Okay, so we talked about food and lifestyle, and let's get into essential oils. That'll be the next little section here. I'm not going to talk about too many. I'm going to focus on like the ones that really work awesome. Hold on, let me get out my, oh yeah, here we go. So this is On Guard, which is a blend by doTERRA. If you've heard of Thieves Oil or Thieves Blend, it's like that. It's just a different name. That was an oil or a blend of herbs that was invented during the plague that they found out warded off the plague. So that was pretty cool history. So it contains orange, cinnamon, rosemary, and eucalyptus, which doesn't sound that wild and crazy, but this is a really potent oil. This oil, this bottle has about 250 drops, and you can use it a few ways. You can diffuse it in a cold air diffuser. You can put a couple drops on your tongue to kind of kill germs in your mouth. Sometimes I'll put it right under my nose when I'm on the airplane, or right on my hands when I'm on the airplane to kill germs. You could rub it on your belly with a carrier oil. It's a little spicy, so definitely for kids you would want to dilute it. But for me as an adult, I don't find it that irritating. You can use it on a toothbrush, and then there's a lot of bacteria in your mouth. That can, how do we really take in germs? Really much through our nose and our mouth, really, because we're touching ourselves or breathing. So you can, again, use some under your nose, put some in your mouth or on your toothbrush, diffuse it. I'm probably missing some ways to use it. You could put it in a capsule and take it. You can spray it on surfaces in your home to kill germs. So this is like just a family essential, this guy right here. And it does come in some of the starter kits in doTERRA. And it's just a great one to have around. Feel free to put any questions in the chat. So this is good for prevention or once you've already gotten a cold. You can put it, like, say, on your feet and then put some socks on. So lots of ways to use it. Next one is Breathe, which is another, I think, essential for this time of year. It's, again, a blend. It's called a respiratory blend. It contains eucalyptus, peppermint, melaleuca, lemon, cardamom, ravensara, and 2 different ravensaras, I think, and laurel leaf. This is a really unique smell, and it has some most essential oils have antifungal, antibacterial type properties because they're from plants, and the plants don't want to get bacteria or be eaten or that kind of a thing. So with Breathe, it does have some bacterial properties, which is great, but it also opens up your airways. So you can use this right on your chest or a little under your nose. Some people will shake it into their shower, or you can also make like a baking soda, like shower balm. I've never done that, out of it to open you up. I've also used it when I've used a steam room. And this one is really great for mold as well. Ella and whoever else has mold. And really, often when you're dealing with mold, you're like a little low-grade phlegm or inflammation, so it just helps open you up. So you can, again, I can diffuse this. You can, put some right on your skin. And with kids, you just may want to dilute it again in like a coconut oil or olive oil. Louise asks, if you put on a toothbrush, does it harm the good bacteria? No, it won't harm the good bacteria. And they actually make an On Guard toothpaste and an On Guard mouthwash, which is delightful. So I really recommend those as well. No, it's just creating balance. You're still going to have a gazillion bacteria in your mouth, but it's just targeting like overgrown bacteria, I guess you could say. Yeah, no problem, Ella. And then the last one I really want to mention for immunity is DigestZen. This is the main digestion blend by doTERRA. Let me tell you what's in this guy. Anise, peppermint, ginger, caraway, coriander, tarragon, and fennel. So this blend you can use right on your stomach or with a carrier oil. You can use some drops in your mouth before you eat. It helps you digest your food. You can use it like if you've overeaten on your stomach. This is just a great oil, and because we talked about how so much of the immune system is in your gut and you want to keep it healthy, I would just have this in your purse. Just use it regularly to just enhance digestion. It can really help if you have like loose stool or constipation. Kind of works like a digestive bitter, just like getting your digestive juices flowing. So like I kept it pretty simple, right, for immune system oils. We are going to talk about some more oils, but I would say like those are my key 3, and really the key 2 being the Breathe and the On Guard, and then the DigestZen being like just sort of that foundational piece. And go see what else I was supposed to talk to you about. Oh, and I wanted to mention one more. I didn't get it out, but one more of their doTERRA supplements is called Terrazyme. And it's an enzyme and an essential oil supplement to help with digestion. So that's something you can take internally as a capsule. I've tried a lot of digestive enzymes, and Terrazyme is my favorite. It's really nice. So you can add it. The cheapest way to get it is if you buy doTERRA's what they call Lifelong Vitality Pack, which is its daily vitamins. Then you can add the Terrazyme for like 20 bucks. So it's much cheaper than if you buy it on its own. So those are the ones I wanted to mention. If you have any questions, I will get into some more like specialty oils later, but those are kind of like the core. Next, I'll talk about supplements. And I'm going to share my screen for this one. My thing will stop acting up. There's like a big question box in the way from Zoom that won't go away. Oh, I just got it to go away. Oh, now what are you doing, you crazy thing? We're getting there. No, that's not it. So I wanted to show you our shop and this new flu pack that we came up with. And this flu pack can be used for, oops. This can be used for prevention, for Epstein Barr virus, and for lots of things. I don't know why it's looking all weird like this, you guys. It's doing something weird with the screen size. Let me see if I can make it go away. Okay, that's better. So this up here on the upper left is our new flu season pack, and it contains 3 supplements. So you get kind of like when I mentioned the essential oils, I think these are 3 nice key ones to have. And really everything in our store I've vetted and tested myself. So whether you get a lot of colds and flus and you want to prevent it, or you just want to have stuff on hand for when you get sick, like either is a really good reason. Or if you have chronic viral infection, that's a good reason too. You know, it's just worth the investment. Like, it's so miserable to be sick. It's just worth the investment to have some things in your medicine cabinet that you know can work. So this 3-pack is on sale right now with the coupon code FLU, F-L-U 15. I'll send you these links, but our shop is called Hormone Detox Shop. Let me put it in. And then I'll link all this stuff up for you guys. And so here's the 3 items in the pack. One is a silver spray that you spray into your mouth. Now, to be honest, if you look up silver and how it works, you're going to get like a lot of mixed messages. Like, people don't really know how it works, or some people say it doesn't work at all. I have found it to be pretty powerful, and I found this brand to be the best one. This is a colloidal silver, very small size, so can basically latch on to a lot of viruses and bacteria. It's kind of like debated how it works. One source said it like steals an electron from the bacteria or virus, and another said that it attaches to a protein on the cell wall, so it weakens the cell wall. You know, it was used historically as an antibiotic, and I don't know if there's been a lot of research about it. I have to do a little more research, but I've used this spray to keep my Epstein Barr virus in check, and I've also used the nasal version for a chronic nose infection related to my mold. So we don't have that in the shop yet. I think we will later, but you could contact us if you want to order the nasal spray. It's similar, it's just in a nasal spray. So yeah, it's effective against a lot of different organisms, and it's just an easy spray that you can spray in your mouth. We have the dosage on here. The nice thing about it is you could really use it for kids. It's tasteless. It's like, very easy to use. Sometimes you'll see online that you can turn blue from using silver. I don't know what kind of silver that is, but it isn't this kind of silver, basically. And this is, again, the most potent one I found. It's $30, which really isn't too bad, and then it's on sale in that flu pack. So yeah, that's the first product, is the silver. And then the second is this olive leaf extract. I'm not totally sure how I got introduced to olive leaf, maybe because of Epstein Barr virus. I use it as an antiviral, but it's also antibacterial and antioxidant. This is what it looks like. And it is an extract that's been standardized to contain 20% of this compound, how do we say it? Oleoeuropean. I never really pronounced it before. But I use this every day as a preventative. Now, that may be overkill for people who, don't have Epstein-Barr virus. You might just want to use it if you feel like you're coming down with something. I guess you could say taking an antibacterial every day is maybe like a little weird. Like, is that, overkill? But you're not going to remember it every day. And I don't really take it in the summer. And I haven't had any problem with taking it regularly. So I think you can either, high dose it when you actually become sick, or take a more moderate dose, like 2 a day, as prevention for viruses, or in the cases of chronic viruses. Let me show the last one in this pack, and then I'll see if there's any questions. And the last one is, it's in a different page. It's the vitamin D. So vitamin D, I'm sure you've heard of, but you may have been a little bit confused about the dosage or which one to get. So I like this one. It's 5,000 IU a capsule. So it's a really nice maintenance dose through the winter. Now, if you don't know your vitamin D status, I have a link here. It doesn't highlight, so I have to make it highlighted, but there's actually some things that are linked here. You can self-test here. You can see the link here with a company that we partner with called yourlabwork.com, and you can get a full blood count and add on a vitamin D by doing some of these tests here. So you would do, let me see here, you do the CBC general health screening for $30, which is a great deal, and then you would add the vitamin D from the nutrient panel here for $50. And then you may have to pay a little lab fee when you go to a lab to draw it, like $12. But you're going to get a lot of information from that CBC, and they give you a report on it, and they can help you interpret it. Like, I think they send you some videos, or they have a phone number you can call. So they have some ways to help you. And then you can see your vitamin D level and see what range you want to be in. I posted some of the ranges on this page. I used to say 80, but some people say 50 ng ml is a sufficient amount for vitamin D. Most people we find are like 15, 20 levels for vitamin D, and many of those people have autoimmunity. So you see there's a quote here that if there's vitamin D deficiency, there can be an increased susceptibility to infections and autoimmunity. So it's just a very important nutrient to make sure you have in the right level. And if you see that you're low and you want to get up to 50 or 80, you can take 4 capsules of these a day for a month or 3 months. You might want to have a little advice from a practitioner. But it sounds really high, but it's not that high. So 20,000 IU is like being out in your swimsuit in the sun for 20 minutes. And that's probably a nice amount of sun to get every day if we could. If you live at a latitude above Washington, D.C., the sun is at such an angle that even if the sun's out in the winter, you're not getting like vitamin D from it enough. It's just not at the right angle to like saturate you for vitamin D. And then if you have inflammation in your body or you're overweight, that can be another thing that can stifle vitamin D production. There is vitamin D in some foods, like some seafood and like ghee and like organ meats. So that is a way to get vitamin D. And it can be in like some, like cod liver oil or something. But it's still not really at this level. So I think this is great, just take 1 a day for maintenance, or take more if you've, been tested and you feel you need more, and then you can retest, right? Let me see. Let me go to the chat here. I don't see any new questions, but feel free to write them up in the chat. I had a couple more supplements I wanted to share beyond this flu pack. Again, let me actually write in the chat the coupon code. It might be capitalized though. And just keep in mind, if you spend $150 at a shop, it's free shipping in the US. So that could be worth your while if you want to get a few different things. Oops. Here's that pack again. Let me link to it. And let's see what else. Okay. I wanted to show you the Megaspore probiotic. We've talked a little bit about digestion. Oh, here's somebody with a question. Christina, yeah, I pretty much recommend 5,000 a day to stay in normal level in the winter. If you're out in the summer a lot, you maybe don't need it, but in the winter, it's just really kind of like a maintenance dose. And you could retest if you feel nervous about that. It's also a fat-soluble vitamin, so you don't have to take it every day. You could take it every other day if you feel like your vitamin D is high. Some people, like my son, tested very high for vitamin D for no reason. So some people, I think, just take it in really well and maybe don't need it. I think that's pretty rare. We test a lot of people and most of them are low on vitamin D. Okay. And then I'll mention the Megaspore. If anybody's already taking Megaspore, maybe you can say it in the chat so that you can share your experience. But it's our most popular product in our shop. It's a spore-based probiotic, which means it doesn't need oxygen to live. So it can be basically dormant until it gets into your gut, and then it populates, and it can help direct, I think, over 80 different friendly bacteria to be made. And then it can help direct unfriendly bacteria to be starved. So it's a pretty special product. We do have it in a subscription plan and a bulk plan where if you buy 3, you get a discount, and you probably get free shipping. There's a little information about it here, but that's on the digestion page. And then let's see, what else did I want to mention? Oh, liquid fish oil and multivitamins. So liquid fish oil is what I carry in our shop so far, because I think it's really fantastic for getting a nice high dose in when you're having like a mold attack, like an inflammatory response, or if you're getting sick. So often if I'm starting to get sick, I'll just take a spoonful of fish oil, and it helps make your cell membranes more integral and more stronger, so they don't pass the virus around. And this is like very not talked about. I don't know why, because it's like a fantastic little thing to do for viruses. And where's the picture of it? Here it is. So this is the one we have is a 30-day supply, and it's $30. And you know, you don't have to use it every day necessarily if you just want to have it on hand for like, you know, acute situations. And then lastly, you know, we talked about vitamin C. Zinc is another important mineral to get. It is in our prenatal and our twice daily packs. There's a little oil supplement, extra calcium, magnesium, and then a generous amount of things like vitamin C and zinc. So I really think that these are foundational, and these are discounted, like if you get a monthly subscription to them as well. That's what I use. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about kids. So the things we talked about so far with the silver spray, that can 100% be used for kids. Another product I like for my son is elderberry syrup. I don't have it in our shop right now because we don't do a lot of kids stuff. But my son won't really take a capsule. He still won't. So I have to find liquids or chewables. There's definitely chewable vitamin C out there. I give him little fish oil chewable capsules. You can take the Megaspore and sprinkle it on your kids' food. Just do like a half capsule or smaller if they're smaller. You can also find chewable probiotics, chewable multivitamins, and I like that elderberry syrup. My son will take the liquid fish oil, like when I make it, take it. So you can have them do an extra dose of that or an extra dose of the silver. Or you can look for the olive leaf in a tincture if they won't take the capsule. Lois said that she takes Megastore and Restore Flora. Great. Christina was saying she does the vitamin D 3 times a week because she's had a pretty good level. So that's a smart idea. Any other questions about working with kids? You know, a lot of it's the same advice. Keep their sugar down. Then with kids, you know, you want to really be keeping their hands clean. Some moms will make a roller bottle of On Guard and a carrier oil, and the kids will put it on their feet before they go to school. I think they could do the same on their hands or under their nose. Again, you can spray down the house. They have an On Guard cleaner concentrate as well that you can use to clean the house and diffuse in the air. You know, kids definitely from schools will share a lot of germs around, so that's a good way to stop it in its tracks. And let's see what's next. Talks about, I wanted to get into Epstein Barr a little bit. So the same supplements I mentioned a minute ago, the silver, the olive leaf, and the vitamin D, I think have been really fantastic for my Epstein Barr. Some other things you might want to consider is just like that fish oil, using a sauna, doing dry brushing. I find for myself keeping lymph moving is really important for it. So an oil I like on my neck to move lymph is a blend called Citrus Bliss. Oh, I guess I don't have it here. It's a beautiful, like, smelling oil, and it also kind of seems to move my lymph. Now, an oil that took me a while to buy because it's super expensive is Melissa, otherwise known as lemon balm, and this is a nice antiviral for Epstein Barr or other viruses. So sometimes I'll just, for me, my Epstein Barr seems to live here, so I'll just kind of tap it onto my neck. This is an expensive oil. It's like $100 for this little bottle, but I wanted to finally try it, and I just use it sparingly. Other nice ones for that I find for Epstein Barr are rosemary, lemongrass, and myrrh. I think they're nice high antioxidant oils, and they're also really nice for your thyroid. So you can put them on a carrier oil and put them on your neck as well. So to sum those up, it was Melissa, Citrus Bliss, rosemary, lemongrass, and myrrh. And I'll talk in a minute about how to buy oils and what's special going on this month in a second. Let me see if there's any new questions. No, I don't think so. Anything I didn't cover, ladies and gentlemen, that you would like me to talk about? Be happy to help. I think I covered all my main points, so I want to show you a little bit. I mentioned in this webinar, I'd also talk a little bit about holiday shopping and the special of the month. So we talked about very essential oils, kind of our core ones are like the Breathe and the On Guard, which also make nice gifts, the Digestin. The free oil of the month, this is a tiny one, but you get a full size, is frankincense. Frankincense is also nice for chronic conditions and inflammation. It's good for skin and blemishes, and it's an expensive oil. And doTERRA has most of the market in the world on pure frankincense. It's like a tree resin. And so the special of the month is if you spend 200 PV, which is more or less $200 with doTERRA as a member, either in a new order or you're already a member, you get a free frankincense, which is a $69 wholesale value. So it's a really popular deal. It usually happens in December. So to spend 200 PV is maybe like a little spendy, but you can actually hit it pretty quickly with holiday shopping. So maybe you get a few oils for yourself for Epstein Barr, you get like a few of these for your home and maybe for some friends. Let me show you a couple other like products you can do to hit 200 PV. One second. Okay, sorry about that. So here's a simple one that's really lovely. It's wild orange, and that's a very affordable oil that smells good and you can use for blends. This is the On Guard hand spray, which again, if you have someone who you don't think is going to use the oils fully, but you think they'd use a hand spray, that's a good way to like kind of get them introduced. Here's a little peppermint beadlet that's affordable. It's like a good stocking stuffer to kind of clean your mouth. This is their new deodorant, which is lovely, a lovely scent, natural deodorant. And then this is their muscle rub, which is fantastic. I'm giving this to my dad. I just gave it to my cleaning lady. It lasts a really long time, and it's very effective for joint pain and sore muscles. So it's a nice, like, kind of, if people aren't ready to do the whole diffuser thing and all that, you can just give them this. I don't see any new questions, so let me just do another screen share and I'll show you a little bit more about this. Okay, so from our same hormone detox shop, which you can find through bridgetdanner.com, we have a doTERRA page. And there's a little video here on one of the starter kits that'll include On Guard and Breathe and some other nice ones. We have a free consult if you want me to help you make a custom selection. Spending $200 is like, there's a lot of decisions to make, so I'm happy to help you, and you can schedule with me. This free frankincense is good through December, but you don't have to wait till like December 30th to get it. You can get it for before the holidays and buy some gifts. So you click on this, create your own kit, or these other kits here, and it will tell you how to become a member. If you're not, some people who are listening might already be members, or you can go to shop. This is actually a bit easier. So you can go to shop, and here you see the offer for a free frankincense with any 200 PV order. So as you fill your cart, let's say you want to get the citrus bliss we talked about. As you fill your cart, when you go to visit the cart, so this is $20 retail or $15 wholesale. As you fill the cart, you can look in the cart, and it says you want to become a member, and we'll say yes, we do want to become a member. You'll get a nice book, and you'll save 25% on your order, and then you can get the frankincense. Then it's going to ask you all these questions, you know, where do you live and all that. But then when you go to review your order, you can see maybe you've spent, you know, you've got your membership, which is $35, and, you know, you've got some products, and now maybe it equals, you know, 180 PV and $230. Then you need to go and add one more product or so to make it hit 200 PV, and then the frankincense will add to your cart automatically. Now this is just in the US and Canada, so doTERRA is pretty worldwide, but they don't run the same specials in every country. I don't know why. Maybe just like they don't have the inventory for it. But this is US and Canada through December, and you'll get the frankincense, which is known as the king of oils. It has so many diverse uses. So if you want to get into oils, you know, you want a frankincense on your team. It's good for thyroid, it's good for the skin, it's good for calming. It kind of does everything, and it kind of makes any blend like work better when you have the frankincense. So I think that was like a basic primer on how to get in there. Let me show you. Let me get back to give you this link. Hopefully all these links work, because we were having some trouble with them. So if these little links don't work with the kits, just say create your own kit here. And let me put that in the chat for you and see if there's any questions. I don't think I see any new questions. So that's the doTERRA page, and I'm going to be happy to, let me give you the link. If you want my help, I know we covered a lot to make, if you're new to oils and you want a little prescription, just schedule with me and we'll get you a little custom set of oils. So feel free to type in any other questions. Again, next month we're either going to do thyroid or detox. If you have a vote, you can put it in the chat. I'm leaning a bit towards detox. Sorry to the person who said thyroid. Just because we're going to do a group detox also in January. And there's a lot of great oils for detox. So I'll probably talk about lots of things like sauna, dry brushing, binders, you know, some of the supplements for detox as well as these others. So that will be the third week of, thanks Kathy for voting. That'll be the third Tuesday of the month, and I'll set it up when I set it up so that you don't have to re-enroll every time. If you want to attend the monthly class, we'll just keep rolling through, and you'll know to, you know, tune in. Unless I'm on vacation, then I'll be there same time. And sometimes we'll really focus on oils. That was the original intent. But as I go, I'm like, well, I think that you might want to hear a more well-rounded approach than sometimes we might just talk about oils for cooking or oils for diffusing and leave it at that. And then other times we may bring in, like today, more about food and lifestyle and supplements, so you get a full picture. Ella says detox is a great way to start the year. Yes, I'm like already detoxing from my Christmas weekend that I had this past weekend. I think everyone kind of feels it and they need it. after the holidays. So it's a nice symbolic too, right? You're cleaning out your body and you're getting a fresh start. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for attending, you guys. This was really special to me to get this monthly series rolling. I have some of the links here in the chat, but I will also send the recording out to you and all the links, so they're really handy. This, again, the frankincense special is through December, and so actually is the flu season kit. It's also available. Oh wait, I think the flu season kit discount is shorter. It's like only, I have to check that. I can't remember if it's through the weekend only. I think it might be through Sunday only, because I have to order the kits and I don't want to miss them. So I'd rather them all come in at once. You know, our shop does have a money back guarantee. If you don't like something and you want to mail it back to us, we'll credit you. And we have free shipping over 150 bucks. So if you order like a Mega Spore and the flu kit, you probably right around 150 bucks right there. So then you could get free shipping in the US. Great. Well, thanks to all of you for attending. I don't know if Shirley came in later. I think Marilyn. A couple of Marilyns in here. Magdalena. I have a friend with that name. Kim and Lori. Honor. Oh, I didn't see you earlier. Honor. Elia, Dorothy, David, Danny. Is that how you say your name? Really appreciate you guys coming and asking some questions. Please do tune in next month. And let's keep learning together. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Thanks, everybody.